Okay, so I do want to apologize for this, my attire. I'm having a bad hair day. Ugh. I just got back from vacation. I did not have time to get my hair done to put this video up today, so hence the hoodie. So excuse me, this is not like normal, like YouTube attire. I have on a pizza and french fry and hot dog onesie, but this thing is so comfortable. I literally live in this. I got it at H&M last year. But yeah, I had to get a video up today. I do want to say thank you all for, once again, for the birthday wishes. I'm still actually getting them, so thanks again for everyone who's saying happy birthday to me. I had a really great vacation. I enjoyed my week off and my weekends off more than anything. I got to go to my line sister's wedding, which was really nice, and I went and got to see family and friends and hung out and just really enjoyed my my very first vacation with my company, so that was nice. Also, what else? I had something, oh my gosh, I had something to say and I forgot. I cannot think of what it was. It was important. I don't know. I'll think of it later. But anyways, I I'm just like in a lot of transitioning in a transition period, so I have a lot going on with like me moving and getting stuff in order with like my credit and my company's like insurance policies, all my stuff, switching credit cards, just like a lot of adult things that I've been doing. Pat myself on the back for adulting. A lot of that, taking care of that lately. I have officially, that's what it was, officially decided that I will be doing Vlogmas, Vlogmas, yes, I had to think about it. I will be doing Vlogmas on my second channel this year. It's Ashley. I will link the link to my second channel down below. I debated on putting it on my main channel versus my second channel because I'm trying to make this content from here on out just flight attendant related. So anything on the Pretty Passenger will be my layovers, flight attendant type things, if I ever have a uniform on, or vlogs when I'm like on duty type, all that will be on this channel. But any personal life will be on my second channel. So with me doing Vlogmas, obviously I will be working because I do have trips. Well, I got my schedule for December and everything. So I'm still going to put those videos on my second channel. So this is probably the only month that will kind of combine my flight attendant life and my personal life, and I just felt like that was a better place to put it because essentially people come here for, I just got a message, sorry, essentially people come here for like strictly flight attendant. They're pursuing the job, they're looking for tips, advice, that type of thing. So I don't want me like, you know, hanging out and on vacation and doing this, that, and the other to interfere with that, hence why it will be on my second channel. So I did want to clarify that for you guys. So now to get into what this video is about. I do get asked this quite often. I kind of waited a little bit for some things to line up before I finally decided to post this. Is this distracting? I hope not. I also thought maybe me having the TV on in the background in my last two videos was, but I don't know. If this bothers you guys, let me know. Say, Ashley, don't do that, and I won't do it anymore. But yeah, things that I did wrong whenever I was based in Minnesota. Let me say, I am the poster child for making mistakes throughout my entire life. I look back to situations and things that I've been through and things that I've done and decisions that I've made, and I'm just like, my guardian angel, she's a real one, like, let me say, because she is in my corner like no one else. And I just think, I mean, it seemed like a great idea, but in my head, oh my gosh, I just make all the mistakes. And when I got this job, I did not know what I was doing. I did not know what I signed up for. I knew it was going to be a lifestyle change. I knew it was going to be a transition. I knew it was going to be so different from any other job that I had had before. However, I did not know anything about anything. And I was the poster child for fake it till you make it when I think back to situations I was in when I was based in Minnie, and I'm like, I do not even understand. Okay, so I'll just start giving examples. I remember my very, very, very first trip officially that I ever had. I had 8 days in Minnesota, and I was 4:30 a.m. standby for the first time. Literally got to the lounge, nobody was there at all. This is my very first day on the job, brand new, got my uniform on. I was up at like midnight. I was so nervous. I didn't know, you know, I was like, I don't want to be late, let me just go to the airport. Got to the airport 2 hours early, so I just kind of walked around. This is 2 o'clock in the morning in the airport, no one's there, and I'm just kind of like, oh well, I'll get familiar with the airport. Went down to the lounge. no one's there. So I sat and sat. Obviously I did not get called for a trip, but then they did call me to go board a plane, and I was so excited. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. I really thought I was doing something. So I got my bags, and this was like an hour before I was about to be released. Got my bags, got to the gate. It was like in G Concourse, I don't remember where. Got to the plane, I'm putting my bag up. I'm like, hi, my name is Ashley. This is my very first trip. I'm so excited. I'm brand new on the line. Da, da, da. They're looking at me like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's so sweet. She's never done this before. Okay, and the crew was super nice. Get there, as you know, I go to the back, introduce myself. Then the person who originally was working the flight ended up coming to the gate. He was just running late or something, so they just needed me to board. And I didn't even actually get to board because he ended up making it. And so I was just thinking, oh, I thought I was going to fly today for the first time in my life. I thought I was going to be a flight attendant. Incorrect. So I left, went back to the lounge, had like 20 minutes by that time, and then they were like, oh no, you can go. You're fine. We don't need you today. I'm just like, okay. Alright. Day 2, I got a trip this time. They actually called me for a San Francisco turn, so I'm thinking, the world is not ready for this flight attendant. Like, I'm about to kill it. I'm about to just be on this plane giving all this amazing customer service. No one's gonna know it's my first day. I'm just gonna be so professional. Get to the briefing or whatever, senior crew, and so they're all just like, we actually had one woman who was just working from Minnie to San Francisco, then we left her there. Then we were gonna switch planes and bring it back with one person short. So they were all really nice. I explained to them this is technically my very first trip because yesterday I just went to board. So they're like, oh, thank you for coming here to, you know, same, super sweet. So we get out. I'm on a 7.5. I don't remember what 7.5 I was on, and I actually think if I went back and looked that I could find my very first rotation. That I think I kept it. I'm pretty sure I did. And I used to write out, oh, it was so cute. Bless my heart. I used to write out like what I was looking for on my doors. So I would put like girt bar or arming lever. Like literally I would print the rotation out and write down what I was supposed to arm beside every single leg of my trip, to just like remind me, like I thought I was gonna have to take the paper and like go up to the door and like stop and think about what I was doing and do the it's not like that, but you will see that once you get on the line. So I had my little rotation printed, and then once we were doing the service, we pulled the carts out and everything, and first of all it took me forever to set up. I wasn't galley, and so the lady was just kind of showing me where everything was, because at the time our setup was different than it is now. But finally we get out on the cars and I'm just like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm actually in the aisles. Like I'm a flight attendant. I'm so excited for no reason. And then it's time for them to move up. Like the girls behind us are ready. And so I'm pushing my car. They're like, okay. And I see them coming. I keep going. And so she's like, why are you, like all these rows in between? So I did not realize she was expecting me to tell her where the row was that I stopped at, and then stop the carts where they needed to be. So we had literally gone like 10 rows before I realized, oh my gosh, no, I didn't know to tell you. And so then she ended up having to pull her cart back and pick up my slack and finish. And so I'm just like apologizing profusely. They're like, you're new, it's okay, we get it, it's not a big deal. Everyone that I worked with as far as the crews were always very, very, very accommodating and very understanding that I was brand new on the line. But I have heard like some crews are not as nice because they just expect you to come on it and be able to do your job immediately. They don't want to have to pick up your slack necessarily. They just want you to know what you're doing, and that is kind of understandable. I do also remember a time where I used to have to Uber from my crash pad. Well, it wasn't a crash pad, it was just really a room that I was renting from a lady. She was not a flight attendant or anything, so I used to have to Uber from her house to the airport, and normally it would just pop up like arrival terminal or something, then I would go down to the lounge. But there was one instance where it dropped me off in the international terminal and I did not know it. So I get out there and I'm thinking, okay, whatever, but I was just like in a rush and it was raining. That's what it was, because I would have asked them to bring me to the normal side, but it was raining, so I was just like, like struggling to get my bags up and stuff. And then I realized I was in the international terminal and I did not know how to get back to the domestic side. Like, it was the most confusing thing. I ended up calling scheduling and telling them I cannot figure out how to get to the lounge. I literally am brand new on the line. I do not know what I'm doing. I'm here. I'm literally at the airport, but I cannot get to G. And so I ended up not making it to briefing, and I literally was on the phone with scheduling so much, and so they were like, just go to the gate, it's fine, you still have like 50 minutes, you're okay, because I would always get there super early, because that airport is so big, and it was intimidating to me, so I would just always give myself a lot of time. Number one, because I was taking the bus when I switched crash pads from the crash pads to a bus stop that would take, well, obviously a bus stop that would take me from there to the airport, and I just always was paranoid about them being late or it breaking down or me missing the bus. Excuse me. So I'd always try to give myself an hour and a half on top of my sign-in time to get there. But anyway, I finally just asked someone. I was literally about to cry, and I stopped someone and they told me how to go around, and I mean, the hike from the international terminal to G was just ridiculous. And so I'm like running, oh my god, I probably look like an idiot, and I had my uniform on. I'm like running down the little, I don't even know what, I was just in such a panic, I didn't even think to just use the moving sidewalk. I literally was running on the carpet part, like, with my suitcase, like, oh my god, just get me, please let me get to the gate on time. I get to the gate with like an extra 20 minutes, and so I'm sitting there and I'm like, my name is Ashley, I'm here, here's my badge, I've called scheduling, I've made them aware of what's happened, I missed briefing, and the agent is looking at me like, she was like, okay, the crew doesn't have to actually be to the gate for another 15 minutes. Calm down. And so then the crew that was there, or that was going to work the flight with me, actually comes up, because they came a little early. And they were like, oh, honey, we were wondering where you were, blah, blah, blah. And I was just I was like, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm brand new. I didn't know. They dropped me off. I'm explaining the whole story. And they're just looking at me like, it's okay. It's fine. You're early. Like, breathe. And so I call scheduling and I tell them, I'm here, I'm at the gate, I'm so sorry, blah blah. They're like, if you say that you are sorry one more time, you're new, we get it, this happens, you're at the gate, you're on time, you're gonna work the flight, you're fine. So I don't know, I was just a mess in Minnesota, just a mess. I mean, there were times I changed in the bathrooms in the airport so many times. I would swap onto trips, like I would take what was given to me on my line, because I would get good trips. I would bid for Los Angeles layovers, usually long ones, and I would have like that, like the month of July, that's all I had, literally long Los Angeles layovers, which is awesome. But I would sometimes have to swap trips that I was given on A-days for another trip to see if there was a crew meal on there so that I could eat, because I was so broke. The checks that you get from the beginning are not that great, and so I hadn't budgeted anything because I didn't really come to training with money, so I didn't have money once I got to my base. So I was just like, oh, let me swap onto that trip with that meal, even though it might not be that great, it's a free meal. Oh my gosh, I was just a mess. I self-taught myself how to use the bus system for the first time, because I never had to take the bus because I had a car at home. So I literally sat on the bus one day and saw every single stop it took me, because there was like a G bus, I think it was an F and G, that used to go certain places within the area of my crash pad in St. Paul, and I like would sit on the bus and see where the Trader Joe's was and like where all the food places were and how to get to the airport and all that. So I did spend a day that I was off just doing that. The only thing I ever picked up out of base while I was in Minnesota was Kona, Hawaii, which was one of the best layovers to this day that I've still ever had. And I gave myself, I had a block of 5 days off, don't know how that happened, but I gave myself a day to get to Los Angeles, because I was always so paranoid about signing in late or being late, or not getting back to the briefing or sign in on time. So I gave myself an entire day to get to Los Angeles, and then obviously the trip was considered a 3-day trip, and then an entire day to come back to base, which was nice, even though I did pick up something on my off days, which I don't normally do. That was worth it. I don't know, there's all these things I did in Minnesota. I snapped the wheel off of my crew bag and it fell onto the tarmac. That's actually the only time I've ever cried in front of a crew member. Ever. Yeah. That's the only time I've ever cried on a trip in front of somebody. Literally, he had just walked up and it just happened to be this way. The wheel off of my bag had come off. Like, I had already snapped this off snapped it off previously, but whenever I was coming from the jet bridge onto the actual plane, there was a little gap in between it, and then obviously it dropped off to the ground. Well, whenever I lifted my bag up, the wheel was just, it wasn't glued in there, so it just fell off, and it fell right in that little crack. And I don't know, I was just so upset about it. And so once I'm pulling it, like, I didn't realize it at first, and then I realized my bag, oh dang, the wheel fell off, but I'm just thinking it fell to the side because it kept coming off. And then I could not find it, and so I'm looking, and it's nowhere. And then I thought, oh my gosh, it fell on the thing. And so I'm sitting there with, like, my tote bag is still attached to my rollerboard, and I'm just looking like, I don't know, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna get off this airplane down there? And it was raining this day too. The weather. And so I just am standing there, like, looking in the gap between the thing, and it just got to me. Like, I just got so upset out of nowhere, and I just started, like, just, nasty Kim K, like, like, just crying. The first officer walked up from doing his, like, walk around or something, and he's like, what is wrong? I was like, my wheel on my back just fell. Like, I'm giving him my whole sob story. I was like, it fell in the crack. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm never gonna see this wheel again. He was like, you stay here, don't leave your bag there, and I'll go check for it. And so I'm just like, I don't even remember exactly what I did. I'm literally just standing there, like, crying. I go in the bathroom, blow my nose, clean myself up, and I'm just sitting in first class like, what am I gonna do without a wheel? Like, I just fell apart. And for whatever reason, the rest of the crew hadn't come to the plane yet, so they didn't actually see this take place. It was just the pilots that were on, and I had gotten there early, I guess. And so I hear him come in, like, step onto the plane, and he was like, he made this noise, I don't remember exactly, but he was like, I have your wheel. And so I gave him the biggest hug, like, literally not even the church hug, like, threw my arms around his shoulders, like, thank you so much, you just made my day. I don't know why this made me so upset. I was like, I never cry on trips, but this just really got to me. He was like, it's fine, take it to Crew Outfitters, they'll fix it. He was like, I've actually broken a bag before. And so I did. I was able to take it on once I got off the trip down there, and they fixed it and everything. But yeah, it was just so all over the place. I could keep going. If you guys want another story time, do let me know. But just because of the time frame, I'm trying to cut it down because I am home, and uploading this is going to take forever. But yeah, those are some of the things that I did wrong whenever I was fresh on the line in Minnesota and still on probation. So if you guys want a part 2, let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye! Oh, also, I'll link all of my social media in the Dropbox. Okay, bye.